The mirror that doesn't reflect. In the corner of an old bazaar, tucked behind a curtain of beaded strings and forgotten time, there stood a mirror. Its frame was carved with vines that curled like sleeping snakes, coated in dust but not decay. It was not for sale. No price tag, no bargaining allowed. People walked past it, often glancing, rarely stopping. The old man who owned the stall never acknowledged it. It wasn't the kind of mirror that caught your face, it was the kind that swallowed it. No matter who stood before it, the glass remained still. Flat. Silent. Empty. A boy once asked, "Why doesn't it show anything?" The old man smiled with one side of his mouth and said, "It reflects only what's truly seen." The boy left, confused, but returned many years later with the heavy heart of someone who'd lived too much too young. He stood before the mirror. Nothing. Not a silhouette, not a shadow, not a flicker of light in glass. He laughed bitterly and turned to leave, until he caught movement in the corner of his eye. Not his reflection, but something behind him. A woman. Familiar. Dressed in blue, mouth open as if about to speak, but soundless. He turned around. No one there. He looked back. Nothing in the mirror either. It had gone still again, cold and blank like always. Rumors bloomed around it. Some said it was cursed. Some said it was mercy, that it didn't reflect lies. A soldier once stared into it for hours and whispered afterward, "I didn't come back from the war." Not really. One girl came every day. She never looked into the mirror. She just sat beside it, reading books with frayed edges, humming tunes her grandmother used to hum when the world felt less sharp. One day, without warning, she stood, faced it, and smiled. Still nothing. But the old man watched from his seat. He saw her eyes widen just slightly, the way a hand might twitch in sleep. She said nothing, but she never returned again. No one knew how the mirror had come to be. Some said it had no beginning, only a place. Some claimed it came from a house that burned but left no ashes. Others believed it was never made, just discovered, like a stone you trip over and later find was a fossil of something you didn't know once lived. One evening, the bazaar began to empty as a storm rolled in. Lanterns dimmed, vendors pulled sheets over their wares. The old man stayed. He dusted the frame gently with a cloth and spoke to it softly, though no one heard the words. A child hiding from the rain peered through the crack in the stall's curtain. She looked at the mirror and frowned. "It's broken," she said to herself. "It doesn't work." But then she looked closer. Not at her reflection. There was none, but into the mirror, as though it were a window. She saw trees, perhaps. Or were they vain?